Well, I guess it's a good reason I'm an amp builder and not a guitar player. This is Rick from Valve Train. Today we are here at the Valve Train Tone Station for another episode of the Whistle Stop. Today we're going to do the builder's overview of one of our latest amps. It is called the Thunderball. This amp got its inspiration from the Supro Thunderbolt. Mid-60s, tube rectified version before they went to the solid state rectifier. The interesting thing about this amp is that the circuit that we decided to use is true to the original circuit. Of course, I had to put some other things in it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The other thing that's interesting is that this amp uses a Valco spec transformer set. These transformers that are in this amp were built by the folks at Classic Tone in Chicago from the same blueprints as the original Valco parts on the same winding machines because they wound for Valco in the 60s. And they're about as close as you can get to the originals using today's materials. If you remember, the Thunderbolt was a 115 combo. I'm running this today through a closed back 1x12 and have the tone set straight up and the volume at about 2.5 or 3. Where that puts us on this Les Paul stock pickups, no changes to it. Very clean and articulate tone out of it. Remembering that this was originally a bass amp, so it's going to be a little dark. So we move the tone control up to, probably about 3 o'clock. A little bit of that bite out of it, a little bit of hair on the notes, just a little bit of breakup. Other than that, the amp does what you would expect it to do. Dark and woody on the neck pickup. Bright, articulate, and punchy on the lead pickup. Like I said, we made a couple of tweaks. The original circuit, volume, tone, 6L6 power, straight up Valco 1965 circuit. While we were working with the amp, we found that if you listen to the treble notes, it was a little lacking. So we put a bright switch on it. That also increases a little bit of the edge on the notes, as well as just adding the brightness, gives you better articulation. Not being able to leave well enough alone, knowing that today's players want more tonal options, we decided to put the Governor on it. The Governor is a control that my mentor Dennis Kager gave me the permission to use, and we've been putting it on the Valve Train amps starting last year or so. It's a control that allows you to tune the output level to what you really need. Sometimes you can think of it as a master volume, sometimes you can think of it as power scaling. But the whole idea is that if you listen carefully, you will hear it click. I don't know if you can hear it out there in TV land, but it is out of the circuit completely. Once I bring it in, cuts the output down. Why bother to activate a switch and have it do nothing? So out of the circuit. The more you turn the Governor up, the more it reduces the output power in the amp. When you reduce the output power and turn the governor all the way down, it's about 1 watt. What you can do now is to turn the volume up. We also have another feature that you can't see from the front because we put it on the back, but it is a Pinto triode switch. Bringing it into triode mode, it goes from 35 watts down to 17. More compressed than in pentode mode. Back to the original circuit, except in triode mode. The amp is built with all of our standard stuff. Solid aluminum 90 thousandths chassis, classic tone transformers, all tube circuitry, all hand wired. It's what you would expect out of a amp that is trying to remain true to its vintage roots. I guess that's it for now. This is Rick with Valve Train. Thanks for stopping by.